Hi everyone, today I'd like to show you a review of tools and equipment that you may need to make quiet books. Today's video is only about tools, and the next video will be all about materials, fabric, felt and adhesive materials, so only material. And today I'll show you tools that you may need. Okay, I'll start with cutting mat. You may find different sizes. I have this one, the biggest one is 45 by 60 centimeters, one side cutting mat. Of course, they all are self-healing mats, and the thickness of each is 3 millimeters. So you may see 3 layers. The layer that is inside is hard PVC, and from this side and from this side, this one is double side cotton mat, is soft PVC. This one is 30 by 45 centimeters, and I have those mats. This one is same size as A5. It is very comfortable to work on small mat if you have small pieces of felt, for example, to cut buttonhole or to cut something small. Next, scissors. Of course, big scissors to cut felt, fabric, interfacing, so must have very good sharp scissors. Next, pin shears. I have pin shears zigzag from IKEA. I have pin shears round edge or wave, 5 millimeters and 7 millimeters. Small scissors, and I used to use manicure scissors with round edge, but recently I have found those scissors. It was written scissors for mustache, and they are really cool. They are really sharp and they are better than manicure scissors, so I really recommend you to find this type of scissors. And scissors to cut threads. Next, you may need stationary knife, craft knife like this one, or like this one. Here you may change the blade. Rotary cutter for the patchwork, or rotary circle cutter. With this one you may cut circles with diameter about 30 centimeters. You may cut felt, fabric, card, paper, very useful tool. And of course, seam ripper. These are hole punch pliers. You may find something like this. This one is cheaper, this one is more expensive. They punch holes from 2 millimeters to 4.5 millimeters. Next, you may find something like this one. You may change the tip. Now I use only those. This one is for 18 millimeters. I use it to cut circles out of Velcro tape. Here I have 8, 7, 5, 4 and 2 millimeters. Also I have those punch pliers. Sometimes I use them as well. Next is eyelets plier. This one, or I like using those. But it is very important to select proper size of the plier according to the size of the eyelets, so they will look nice from both sides. This is brads plier for the brads, and this one is plastic snaps plier for round snaps, only for snaps. And of course, if you are going to use those hole punch pliers or these eyelets plier, you will need the board, any cutting board, and the hammer. Of course, the most useful is patchwork ruler. I have only one, but I use it very often to cut square, to make some marks on the page, or to cut fusible interfacing with right angle. This one is must have. Next, rulers with circles, squares. Next is felt ruler. The rest rulers are stainless steel rulers. This one for 12 inches. The smaller one I use to cut buttonholes in felt. I cut with this ruler squares of fusible interfacing with this one and the long one. And I have this ruler with sliding marker, so this marker can be moved and will stay in place for repeating marking. Can be used to mark seam allowances, to determine buttonhole length. Very nice ruler. If you're going to use pins, just find flat ones like this one or like this one. Of course, those are better. And wonder clips. I have small ones, but you may find bigger. For your sewing machine, you should have several sizes of sewing machine needles, 10 or 12 for sewing 2 layers of felt, 14 is for sewing on felt parts onto the page, and 16 or 18 for binding pages and for quiet book binding itself. Then hand sewing needles. Now I don't use those, but instead I use self-threading needles. Actually, these are very good. Next, you may need lighter to melt the threads. This is soldering iron with removable tip. This one is very nice tool. You may cut ribbons, you may cut velcro tape. I have tutorial on this. And with the soldering iron you may need any kind of glass board or just piece of glass. Very often I use tweezers. I like this one. It's very useful if you need to glue small pieces of felt on the bigger piece of felt, so just to pick the smaller piece. Very often I use owl to make holes if I need to install plastic snaps, but I use it to to press the binding strip while I'm binding my pages. Or instead of this, you may use any big needle. Presser feet for sewing machine. You may need applique presser foot to sew applique or even to sew on the buttons. Then zipper presser foot, but like this one, not this one. Because this one is for invisible zippers, but in quiet books I don't recommend you to use invisible zippers. To make buttonhole in felt, I don't use this presser foot because I don't use zigzag stitch to make the buttonhole, but I sew with straight stitch, so I use the standard presser foot. I have video on it, so you may check if you'd like to. I use stencils a lot, so I use brushes to apply acrylic paints on the fabric, or I use those sponges, this one, or like roller, or those. And sometimes I use those punchers to make small stencils. And if you are going to use heat transfer paper to transfer the images on the felt or ribbons, so you need stick roller to clean the surface before you apply the print or the images. And this is my ironing table. Before I had ironing board, but maybe 1 year ago we bought the table. I have 2 irons. This one is steamer, and this one is the cheapest iron I could find in the store, but it's very heavy. So this one I use to apply fusible interfacing, and if I use fusible web, I use this iron to iron felt and fabric and velcro fabric and our clothes, so I use only the steamer. And of course you need sewing machine. How to choose proper sewing machine to sew quiet books, I have video, you will find the link below. So this is it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.